I just wanted to put a message out there before I did the connection with Gaia and Roger. And I just wanted to remind everybody that we are love, that you are love. And just as that message came for me to say, I felt guidance come through. And what was coming forward was that if you want to be reminded of what true love really is, because when it comes to the beings of Earth, sometimes we don't express our love in the way that we feel love, and that we feel love towards somebody else. We don't express it the same way, and it can be misinterpreted. And what was coming forward was that to know kind of authentic love, to know real love, would be to really go within and connect with your guides and your ancestors and your loved ones and those that are kind of basically dedicated to you, and that'll make you be able to really understand what true love really is. So in this video we'll be bringing forward guidance from Gaia, Mother Nature, as well as my guide Roger. And I think first we're going to begin with Gaia. We'll be connected with both of them at the same time. For some reason I feel like they have a joint message to give. Well, I'm being told basically that they're separate messages, but they can be unified, whatever the messages are. But initially, with Gaia, she told me that she was bringing to my attention the full circle of something, the coming together of something. So I don't know exactly what that is, but we'll just get straight into it. First, we're going to pull from the Moonology Oracle deck, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so Gaia is letting me know that there are subtler changes. There are things that are happening that are less noticeable. She's also bringing to my attention that basically with myself, I've noticed a lot of things, I've seen a lot of things, but she's saying to me that there's even more for me to discover when it comes to the happenings of what's going on around us and what's happening just with myself and my personal spiritual journey. Okay, so literally I heard in my head, it's time for you to succeed, and then this card comes out. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. Okay, for some reason I feel like it's that guy is talking to me directly, but if I'm doing this on a video, then there must be a collective message, and 222 was just on the time as I just looked up. I just keep hearing like job well done, like I'm being congratulated or something, or she's just noticing, she's just letting me know that my efforts are not going unnoticed. And to be honest, it doesn't even feel like effort, because every time I do these connections I just feel so good. I just love doing it. Let's see what messages Gaia has for the collective, because I know that there is messages. Okay, so we have a time for healing, blasphemic moon, and we also have conclusions are within reach, full moon and eclipse. So again, going straight back to what I said at the beginning of the video, and the first message that Gaia gave me, that there's a coming together of something, there is a full circle of something. Time for healing. For some reason, I just feel that there's something to do with the collective consciousness, that it's increasing, it's heightening. I'm getting that many, okay, I'm being brought to the third eye with this card. It's just peaking, it's just opening. So for many, they are literally just beginning to I don't want to say wake up, because when you first get well, I can only speak from personal experience, but also experience from viewing and observing other people, that when they are beginning their awakening journey, the first thing that they do is research, and that is the beginning of the awakening. They start researching and just looking up all these facts about our current experience and the matrix that we're living, and then once that information is kind of absorbed, and you remove the fear from that information, because when you first start researching things, there is a lot of dark things, but it's because you are walking towards a path of light, so therefore the darkness is being exposed, and that enables you to once that fear is eliminated, that's when your system begins to kind of integrate the things that you're learning. And what I'm seeing is that as the fear is being eliminated, the third eye of the people is awakening. I just keep seeing, like, I'm seeing someone's eye closed, and I'm literally just seeing it open the tiniest bit, and I can see like light coming through it, almost like this crescent. And again, this energy of the darkness, the light, but the darkness being exposed by the light. It's almost that the vibrancy of the light makes the darkness look more beautiful. I don't know why that message just came out. Okay, yeah. So, because what we were saying about fear and darkness, that once you begin to start learning about the matrix and what the system that we've decided to live by, once you begin to learn that information and you begin to remove the fear and you are walking a path of light, you then begin to see the darkness in a different light. You then begin to not have fear of the darkness. You then begin to be able to accept, and not just accept, but also understand that you can learn and grow from the events that happen that are not necessarily the most positive feeling. Okay, so we're going to just take one more card from this deck. Confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. Now this card came out for, I think it was the Cancer reading that I did. And again, I'm getting something to do with hair. And I feel that at this time, people need to be taking care of their hair. Because your hair is your connection to source. Okay. So for some reason, I'm being shown, and this is by Gaia, basically, that when we are within like a space and we are walking, or we're just around people, and then we just get these urges to turn our head or to look at somebody or to listen to a conversation that we're not a part of, that's like our hair, our antennas signaling something to us that we either need or we're in vibrational alignment with, or that is a threat, or that we just need to take notice of. Our hair is able to pick, or I'm being told that it's able to pick up on like electromagnetic fields, or let's just make simpler, energy, and it's able to kind of direct you. But I'm getting that it's actually hard to, it's innate because you just do it, but it's hard to actually, it's something about the connection with your hair and source. It's very subtle, the way that your hair works. And I'm getting something to do with like tingles. When you feel a lot of crown chakra tingles, sometimes it's what your hair has picked up on, if that makes sense. It's not just, yes, it is intuitive guidance coming through, or light codes or whatever, but there is times, and a lot of the time, your hair's picked up on those beings, or whoever's feeding, whatever energy is giving you the information. Okay, I could feel the energy of my guide Roger, and he's basically saying like he will take his time, he'll wait his turn, basically. So I was just saying to myself, let me pull some cards for him, and then he's basically saying how he will wait his turn. Okay, so let's pull a couple of cards from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck and see what we have coming forward. from our loving guide, Gaia. Let's just read this box actually first. Guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here right now. I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. That is so beautiful and sweet. Okay. So we have be fearless, stand strong. And at the bottom of the deck we have connect with your emotions. Okay. And guys, bringing my attention to the awakening of the third eye. That can be I want to say for a minority it can be traumatic for a very small amount of people, but she's saying be fearless, stand strong, because what it is that when our third eye begins to awaken, it's the accumulation of fear that comes with it, because again, we beings don't have fear for what we're comfortable for and what we are used to. And when we are coming out of what we are used to, when we are seeing things from a different perspective and we don't have that instant understanding, because it's a new perspective and it's a new way that you're looking at things, fear can come up because it can be confusing. You may not know which direction you're taking. You may not know if this is actually your spiritual senses or if you are going insane. So be strong, because this is the time for healing and guidance through the third eye, seeing clearly, feeling clearly, 11:11 as I just looked up. That can be huge healing. That can be really beneficial for you. But you have to be fearless. You have to stand strong and know that this is all happening in divine order. This is happening the way it's meant to. And it's also happening. Your third eye will not open without you bringing that in, without you being ready for it. So we have, wise one. Grow within your current situation. So really, when it comes to this expansion of the third eye, and also the expansion of maybe understanding and overstanding for the collective, we still need to remember that everybody's at a different pace. Everybody's working on a different frequency. Everyone's working on a different level. Yes, collectively we have a unified frequency, but on an individual level, we're all on our own individual, specific, personal journeys. And what I'm getting, I don't know why, in the last few readings that I've done, there's always been this feeling of not being distracted by somebody else's journey, not being taken out of your course for somebody else's course. And it's not that you can't help them or help others, it's just also continue to help yourself. Never stop your growth for somebody else's, because in the growing of yourself is the growing of others as well. Okay. Okay, so I'm being told by Roger that he has something to add to that message about the continuing to help yourself whilst helping others. And we're going to just pull from the Nature's Whispers Oracle deck, as he said, pull from the purple one. Catch your breath. Okay. He showed me that sometimes you don't even need to speak in order to support somebody. Sometimes the best way to kind of, and he's bringing it to energy, he's saying that to go back off what Gaia was saying regarding not allowing yourself to be taken out of your course, not allowing yourself to be put on somebody else's course, somebody else's journey, and taken away from your own journey and your own healing and your own growth. but he's bringing it to an energy level. He's saying that yes, you can. The easiest way to support somebody in healing, support somebody in their journey without taking yourself out of your own journey, your own healing, your own course, your own vibration, your own signature energy, is just by listening. If you can see this individual's listening to the tree, listening to nature, it's just by listening. And just in the listening, you are able to, one, receive what this person is saying. You're then able to also, without responding, you're able to kind of analyze and get a better understanding of things. And two, that person is able to offload, and problem shared is a problem and a half. And it's not that, it's just that when we share, and it's not the element of sharing, it's the element of being heard and being listened to that provides healing, is what I'm getting. It's acknowledgement, and sometimes it just takes one moment to let somebody know that they are valid, that their emotions are true, that they have a right to feel the way they do. And that's kind of what I'm getting from Roger, is that it's not always about speaking to support people. It's also not always about basically kind of trying to do the most, trying to be somebody's savior. It's not about that. Allow people to be their own savior. For some reason, I'm hearing next of king, contemplation. Let's pull one more card, see what Roger's saying regarding this. Fresh approach. Okay. So there's something new happening again. Again, going back to the full circle at the beginning of the reading. But I'm being pulled to what I mentioned in another reading, where there's this coming together of perspectives, opinions, sides, views. Okay. And right now, I'm getting that we have selected, this is what's coming forward, we have selected a new way, a new path. And this is collectively, and this isn't maybe physically in terms of consciously speaking it or saying it, but collectively we have decided that the way that we're living is not the way that we want to live anymore. It's not the way that we will be living going forward into the future, and I don't know how soon or how late that will be, but the way that we live now will not be the way that we are going to live in the future. And we've decided that, but what we haven't decided, which is where the contemplation comes in, is what that new way of living looks like, what that new way in terms of a system looks like. We understand that it will be in terms about love and unity and acceptance of all and everybody and universal consciousness. However, the way that we live, the construct that we curate, hasn't been decided or set upon. And that's what is. So when we're speaking about the coming together of all these energies and all these perspectives, all these sides, all these experiences of all these religions, races, spirituality, all these different teachings, it's almost like it's a recipe, and the recipe hasn't been complete yet. Guy's telling me to keep going with Roger. Seek beauty. But what I'm getting with this is more of a sense of there's a need to honour the self at this time. I don't know why. There's a need to honour the self. To love on yourself for some reason. And I'm getting that, okay, basically I'm being told that because we can't go out, and because obviously we can still go out, but because a lot of us are still isolating and COVID's still happening, and there's a lot of still social distancing, it's hard to love our nature. It's hard to also feel the love from nature, and it's also maybe hard to feel the love from loved ones and friends. And what I'm getting is that at this time, when you're loving on yourself, when you're giving yourself self-love, it kind of reflects outward into the wider universe, and kind of, I want to say, Gaia is able to pick up on this love. And even though it may not be direct love towards Gaia, it's love towards yourself. But again, you are expression of the wider, the greater. You are an expression of Gaia. Gaia is an expression of you. I'm an expression of this park, and the park is an expression of me, and so forth. So that love is kind of a universal love that can be absorbed by other beings. So we have the Wheel of the Year, and again, the coming together of, we're pulling some tarot, and this is just joint messages from both Roger and Gaia to finish this reading. And we have, again, the Circle. This journey that we're on, this wave that we're on at this moment, and the way that we are vibrationally is positive, and it's successful, and it's leading towards, I want to say, the right end goal, even though the end goal is obviously infinite. And I'm just seeing one, obviously, path for where we are at the moment and the current energies that we're dealing with. But we have the Wheel of the Year, so I'm just feeling that us as human beings of this generation, or of this, I want to say, life cycle, human cycle, we are going to fulfill what we're meant to fulfill. And I'm getting that we are going to be the anchors of new energy, of kind of 5D Earth. Without us, things would still happen, but they wouldn't be happening so smoothly, if that makes sense. And I don't see, I have to feel these things, because sometimes when I look at the world, you may not always see that things are so smooth, but within me I can feel that they are smooth. I can feel that everything's happening the way it needs to, but kind of peace. And again, going back to the very, very first message before I even did the reading, love doesn't always look the way we expect it to look, and it doesn't always look the way it feels. But we have Temperance at the bottom of the deck, letting you know that there is this peace, there is this pouring into one another, this love flowing backwards and forward from Gaia to her earth babies. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. All I ask is that you send your gratitude to energy, to Gaia, to Roger. I send my gratitude to you for watching, for being present with me. Peace and love. Ashe.